Neek at Night. And I got some very special guests with me today. And today's topic, we're going to be going over child custody, co-parenting, the issues that we face in the household when it comes to sharing time with your child. All of it. We're going to dig into it. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce my guest. And I'm going to start with you. What's your name?
Big Keith.
Terrell. T. Woods.
T. Wood. So on my Facebook, I asked, what were some questions that people wanted to ask on this topic? Okay, so one of the questions is, do you think women teach their children to hate their father just because she's the one that's angry? What do you think? Do you think that women teach their child to hate the father?
I think that, I would hope not, but I think that if you do teach a kid to hate their father, if that father is there weekly or bi-weekly or in that kid's life, that father can override what that mom is teaching him because he's going to see something different. Like Eminem raps about it all the time. Your dad wasn't shit, blah, blah, blah. But then he recognized,
my dad is providing for me. You know, my dad is doing
so be
stuff.
there. You know, prove him wrong, or else then.
What do you say? Because both of you guys have gone through child custody. What do you think about the guys who say, "Man, F that, she keeping my baby away from me. I don't let the white man get in my business. I'm not, I want to be in my child's life, but I'm not going through court. My child will know when they get older." What do you say to those men? What do you think about that?
Me personally, I think you have to. If the mother is trying to keep the kids away from you or not letting you see them, you got to get the white man in your business. So, me, I'm gonna go to court. I'm gonna get I'm gonna fight for my kids, until there's no more breath in me. So.
But what do you say to the guys who? I mean, is that a valid excuse? Because I think that's a court.
It's not a valid excuse at all. Because you're a grown ass man, she's a grown ass woman. And those are your kids. Those are your responsibilities. So it shouldn't be nobody in this world that can stop you from either seeing your kids or providing for your kids, or just teaching your kids life lessons. Like that's the main thing. Like fuck the money. Like the child support gonna get you either way it goes. Like whether you paying a lot, a little, whatever.
But your child should override the monetary things, is what you're saying. And that's what I think too. Like every time I see a guy like going on around and like, man, F that, I'm not going to court, I don't do that court stuff. I be like, that is a poor excuse. That's like a cop-out, weak excuse. What do you think about that?
Can't no woman keep no kid away from their dad.
If they want to be there.
You got to fight in you or no?
If they want to be there.
If they want to be
there.
You
got to fight in you or no?
Yeah, if they want to be there.
If they want to be there. If they don't, then of course they're going to come up with every excuse in the book. So,
Okay, so when you go to court though, so say like the child's mom is giving you a hard time, she's not letting you see the kid, and you want to fight for your child. When you go that step, when you take it to that step, you open up the can of worms for child support. And sometimes the woman will put you on child support without going to court, but it's almost automatic. If you take the woman to court, they're going to automatically put some type of child support in there. So my question, and I'm going to start with Dakis, is what do you think is fair in the terms of child support? How do you think child support should work?
Okay, opening a can of worms. Sometimes a woman opens a can of worms when she goes and get cachet. But I feel that if that dad signed that birth certificate, that the county should reach out to him. Like, hey, well, you signed the birth certificate. You was there at day one. You signed the birth certificate. So are you willing to help? Because that's child support, Right. What are you willing to do to support this kid before we help her? And she might qualify to help, and that's fine, help her if she can't do her job. Or if he can't do her job, whatever, But sometimes, how it is now, they just give her what she wants and attach the dad.
You think that's jacked up?
I don't think it's jacked off because fathers sometimes do fall off. And mothers do carry the load. But I think they should reach out to the dad and say, hey, well, what are you willing to do? Sign this contract or make it this order that you'll help with this. So we, as a county, can help her less. And then that gives you your kid more, I think they should do that.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense because when the mom goes to child support, the dad is stuck with whatever they paid her out. And it's like, hey, I didn't even know that she was... Because sometimes women don't even tell... sometimes women are so prideful that they won't even tell you that they need help. And they won't even tell you, you know what I'm saying? And then after it's all said and done, they go down to the county, they get this money, and then now you're stuck with the bill.
Yeah.
So I agree with that they should probably reach out to the father first before they just go off and right. Yeah, I mean I agree with that. What do you think? What do you think is fair in terms of child support?
What I think is fair is 50-50 down the line. But
so you don't believe in paying child support? That's what if it's 50-50 down the line, then you're not paying nothing.
No, I believe in child support because, to a certain extent, if the mom has a good job working, the dad has a good job, I don't understand how is it still, if you're getting a kid, let's say 60-40, the dad's getting them 60-40, you're getting them, 10% less than 50%, but yet you're still paying, $600, $700, $800 for, some child support. But then you still have to do for your kids when you have them. When you have them in your care and stuff like that. And I think I'm getting a little, I get a little emotional about this because it's like, in my case, I pay high child support.
Okay.
And I'm with my kids almost every weekend. The reason why I don't get them during the week is because she picked up and moved about 2 hours away from me, and I didn't even know. I found out from my son one day when I called him. I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" He was, I just got out of school here in San Diego, and I'm like,
"Whoa, that's far."
when did you move to San Diego? Where's your mom at?
Uh-huh.
And then then I get some paperwork saying that she wants to move child support down there, and I'm like, wait a minute. So now that makes it tough on the dad to either make school events, sporting events, just anything. I mean, tell me, we're gonna have to talk for the rest of our lives, no matter if we like it or not. It don't matter when my kids get 18.
But are you receptive to what she's saying? Are you really gonna take what she's saying seriously, or are you gonna think like, oh, whatever? You just automatically think like, oh, you're just making it difficult, or could it really be a situation where she's maybe really trying to go and make a better job situation, or something like that? Because, okay, so automatically, anytime something happens with me and my daughter's dad, he automatically is on the defense. So I think in most cases, and I could be wrong, but I think in most cases, people are automatically in the defense, and when you think of relocation, you think, oh, she's just trying to make it harder for me. But what if she really just got a good job opportunity, and she can't come to you? You in a new relationship. You in a new, you don't know.
She comes to me for anything else. She comes to me for everything else. When the kids need something, when, just whatever. I used to always be at my son's football practices, games, award ceremonies at school, everything.
So what is the solution in that case? Because now it sounds like, are you just not going at all? Or
honestly, to tell you the truth, I can't, it's tough for me to even make it to, awards and stuff like that. I'll still go to his games and stuff like that on a Saturday, but as far as like awards and stuff and like practice and stuff like that, I can't do it.
Because it's too far.
It's, and that's, I don't know if that's that's tough to say because it's like, no distance between your kids should be, it shouldn't be too great, but man, it's tough. So.
Are you a far distance from your children, or are you guys in the same?
They were born in Loma Linda, California, at a hospital. They moved to Victorville, California for 4 years. Then me and my family moved to Victorville. And then 2 months after I moved to Victorville, they moved to Palm Springs, which is like an hour and a half towards Arizona.
So, it's not, is it?
Could be.
Okay, so basically, you relocated to be close to your kids, and 2 months after your relocation, you got your family like, let's get closer. She darts out and moves an hour and a half away. So how do you work with that? Like, what is?
Did she up and tell you that she was leaving?
Not at all. She blocked me and
that's what I don't understand. I don't understand when women just leave and then they don't tell you, and then like you in the blind of, man, I thought I was trying to work something
now
out.
I'm getting a text messages for I need help with child care, but
I was here.
I could
have been watching.
That's what I be saying, because she got my sons and stuff going to after school programs and stuff like that. But I'm like, man, if you was still out here, we got family.
Right,
she got family out here.
Instead of going
that can help both of us out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seemed like she's just, and I understand she got a job opportunity.
I don't get so angry. Like, you're not out here stripping or anything. You're working, but Jesus Christ, you made this decision.
So I wanna ask you specifically because it was some tea on Facebook. You was posting screenshots.
It's always some Kermit the Frog going on over here.
He was posting screenshots, showing receipts. What caused the Daykeys baby mama rant, and what was it about?
In my issue, I did not want to speak on this, but in my issue, she's not saying that I'll leave my children to look out the window like, damn, is my dad gonna pull up? Or, man, I miss my dad. She's saying that I could pay more child support than what I am. But she created a distance. The court says she created a distance, for me to support my child. Because child support is not all a check. It's not all about check. You got a check or money in this hand, then you got the dad taken care of. When they're at my house, I'm feeding them, bathing them. They're not using electricity or nothing. That's child support too. That's what people don't realize. So, you created this big distance. Now you want money and you want your
to support
raised.
the distance.
Yeah, hold on.
So you feel like, okay, so basically if in both cases, because you said it also in your statement and then you're saying it in your statement, if you up and move, it should be up to them to cover the expenses that would not be there if they were local.
No, I think that shit. First, we talk it out.
Yes.
See, how do I feel about this? What can I do to help you? Do I want to relocate with you? Or can I move
But
somewhere?
you just relocated, so would you be willing to relocate again if you just relocated?
Not with you, but what can we do? What can we do as a team?
I feel like, yes, if you are in a situation where you move somewhere that is twice as expensive as where you were at, and then you can't afford where you're at, but then you want the father to help out more than what he's doing, it's like, man, well, come back to where you was comfortable at. I mean,
and then where you have resources,
where you have resources to help you.
No, don't say resources, say support. Support. We have support.
Resources, support.
Child support. You have child support.
But resources meaning mama, daddy, cousin, sister, uncle.
They're going to go to court after child support, but your support is here.
All right, man. Have you ever said anything negative or whatever to your daughter about her dad?
I'm human, so I can't say that something didn't come off negative, but I am conscious, and her dad and me do not get along. So I am very conscious of what I speak in front of her because, like I said, I did not have a father. I don't want to rid her of that.
Okay, so then how is you guys, let's say when you go to drop her off,
we don't say a word to each other.
You guys don't say a word to her. She just gets out the car and goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much how my situation kind of was. It's not, it's getting better. Like I said, it's getting better now. But I feel like my kids, that really affected them. They seen the tension between, me and their mother. And, I was getting to the point where I was like, man,
let's break it down. Let's be cool.
It has to be, we're going to be in each other's life for the rest of our lives. It's not at 18 years old because we're still going to have these kids together, So I'm like, it has to be some common ground where we can come to, like, you may hate me, I may hate you, whatever. Mm-hmm. But for the kids, like when we're around the kids, or, I don't want them seeing us, oh, F your mama, F your daddy, or your daddy.
And you shouldn't be saying those things. And like I said, I don't talk bad about her dad, but if I do mention him, she doesn't even recognize that I'm mentioning him, is what I'm saying. But okay, so that's one thing. Another thing, and then the last final thing is I'm gonna let them go, and Daykeys has been quiet, so I really want to hear from him a little more. But when it comes to child custody, you have a baby by this person, you guys don't work out for whatever reason, and then you decide to move on, and this new person is in your life. When do you introduce that person to your child? And what what do you feel about other men being around your children? And I'm gonna start with Dickie.
Well, my situation is gonna throw you off guard because I had to start with supervised visits because my baby mama lied and said, "Oh, I'm a drug dealer, I'm abusive, blah blah blah." But then she goes when I'm up north firefighting as a career. She goes and marries a nigga in the state penitentiary. So it's like, yeah. Where's your judgment? Where's your judgment go then? You know?
Like I was so bad.
Yeah, I was bad.
With these fake allegations, this guys in the pen.
This guy with the chrome toilet and the collect phone call. He's the best nigga on earth. You know, like so. It's like.
So how do you feel about him being around your children, and what do you feel about you know, like you started a career, and of course, to my knowledge, you've never been a drug dealer. I don't know if you do what you do in your private time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you do in your private time. But to my knowledge, you've never been a drug dealer. So you are, you know, studying to be a paramedic. You're doing the firefighting. You're doing positive things. This guy, she goes off and she marries him in the pen. How do you feel about this person being around your child?
You know, when all the stress was done, and you try to be a man that your kids can look up to and say, "Oh, this is what my dad does." I walk in my kid's school, they say, "Oh, I know what you do." You know, that's
you're
great.
right.
That's great. But now I'm getting phone calls. I need help with this. I need help with that. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't tell you to move my kids out of where I moved to. I moved to where they live, and you moved them out. Now you want me to pay this?
I'm saying, what do you feel about the guy being around your child? That's the question.
Nigga didn't graduate high school. What the fuck would you? Come on, man.
But how do you feel about him being around your kids? And when do you think is the proper time to? Okay, so have you had?
Nigga ain't been. Okay.
How do you feel about it, bro?
Nigga ain't been around his own kids. Start over there, bro.
Before you be in my kids' face?
What do your kids know you? What do your kids see when they look at you? Because I know my kids see when they look at me.
Okay, so how do you feel when she's gonna bring? Because she's gonna bring.
I can't stop it. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop it.
Okay, so do you feel? Because I feel like I don't have an issue with. I'm in another relationship, so you know my child's mom has to get over it. You know.
Yes. Hey, no, she has no choice.
She has no choice, and you know she put us through a lot of things. You know, and that really hindered the relationship, but. You know, it's either am I gonna let this relationship go and let my baby moms, you know, rule, you know, what I'm doing, or I'm gonna, you know, do what I'm doing. But I don't have an issue. Like I said, I don't have an issue with my kids
being around
a man. If I told my baby mom straight out, I said, look, I don't have an issue with you get. I already understand my kids are gonna have to be around another man.
Right.
It's gonna happen
because they're gonna be around another woman with you.
And it's gonna happen regardless. So I said, look, I don't have an issue with it. Just introduce me to him. Let me have a talk with him. Let me see where he's at. Let me let him know he doesn't have to do anything. You know, you don't have to discipline my kids.
So what if she introduced you to him and you think that this guy's a piece of shit?
Then I'm gonna have an issue with it. Then there's gonna be a big issue with it, and then you know I'm gonna let her know my concerns because I'm not gonna sit here and fight you and do all this stuff and get police reports and all that stuff. I'm gonna let you know, hey, I got a concern. If you're not doing something to fix that concern, or if this man is still over there doing whatever you know I have issues with, then I'm gonna have to go to court and let you know and let the white man you know in our lives again. And it's like I'm gonna let the courts know my concern, and hopefully they see my concerns. But like I said, I don't have an issue with a man being in my kid's life. I just want the man to understand that. You know, I'm in my son's lives day in, day out. So I'm not one of those fathers where I'm a weekend dad. Like, I'm still.
So you want whoever is going to come into their life additionally to be just as strong as a figure?
Either just as strong as a figure, or, you know, you teaching because you're going to be in my kid's life. So you teaching my kids, you know, while you're there with them, if you're in the house with them, you're teaching my kids, you know, the same thing that you would teach your kids. You know, the same thing you would teach your son, the same thing you would teach your daughter. But you know, if there's an issue with my sons are doing or whatever, let the mom call me. You know, I deal with my kids, you know, on a daily. So, you know, every time I'm seeing them, I'm always constantly talking to them about, you know, issues. You know, my son's coming to me about little girlfriends and stuff like that. Like, I'm in my son's life.
You just want them to be
period.
a positive influence.
Just
and
be
if
a-
they aren't, then you have a problem with it. But if they are cool people, then you don't have a problem with it.
No, I don't have a problem with it at all because I'm like, it's going to happen regardless. So why am I going to get all bent out of shape and, oh, no, this thing can't be around my kids. Like, yeah, if you're a piece of shit, then hell yeah. No, you can't be around my kids. No, we're going to have an issue.
Right.
But if you're in there handling your job, then, you know, we get that.
At the end of the day, you can't stop it.
I mean, yeah, you can't stop it.
You can't.
But it is better to be introduced so that you can kind of get a feel of the person that's going to be around your child. So, I mean, I do agree with that part because my daughter's dad, he used to bring some chick every time it was a time to pick my daughter up. When he was in this relationship with this chick, she would come every pickup, every drop off, every pickup, every drop off. And I'm like, damn, how the fuck she got time to come to every pickup, every drop off, every pickup, every drop off? And every single time she would come, she would be in the car, the window rolled up, looking straight forward. And I'm just like, dude, like, she around my daughter, like, the least you could do is at least say, and he's the one, in my opinion, of course, you know, other people feel differently, but I feel like he's the one who agitated this custody thing the way it was, because he didn't even have to go this route, but he did for whatever reason, you know. But the least you could do is like, boy, just chill out, like, introduce me to whoever gonna be around my child if they gonna be around my child. I want you guys to weigh in on this. There was good points made on both sides. You made some really good points about, you know, if you relocate, then why should I be stuck with the expenses of you relocating when you have support here? And Keith made a very good point that I didn't even think about when it comes to, you know, if the woman decides to go and get aid, reach out to the father and see what he's willing to do before you just come and stick that man with all this rears of child support that he has to pay for something that you guys could have came to a common ground with in the first place. So, I mean, I never even thought about that. So that is a very, very good, you know, point. So I want to ask you guys what you think. What do you think are some of the solutions to this? Because I see it all down my news feed, people going on rants like, I hate my baby mama, I hate my baby daddy, blah, blah, blah. Like, we need to come and be a stronger unit in the Black community. So, and we need to start with our kids. Our kids are a strong force and, you know, all of this. So I want to know what you guys think is a solution. Thank you guys for watching. It's been real. I want to thank my guests again, Dekeys and Terrell, or T Wood, for coming along and sharing their thoughts on the situation. Until next time, guys. Okay, so now we are going to start the segment of Get It Off Your Chest.
Man.
We've been going on this topic. We did a couple questions. You know, we done dug into a couple of things. But now, you know, it's just free, fair game. Get it off your chest. What do you have on the topic of child custody, child support, co-parenting, whatever it is? Get it off your chest. What do you want to say?
Dropping kids off at police stations, that shit sucks. It really, really sucks. But back to child support.
You want to dig into child support, I see.
What is child support?
What is something that you want to get off of your chest? Like what, the whole, like any of the things that we discussed, like what do you want to get off your chest?
Man, I got a lot of things that I would like to get off my chest.